Dazzle's put channel 108. The only channel you need to watch, the only channel you need to see. Except channels you watch and channels I see. Not here to impress, only to express. This is part 2 of the last one I was doing. It's still Friday the 1st of August 2025. It'll still be soon be Christmas 2033. It'll still soon be Easter 2040. After which the vapor canopy will return. Just another lifetime passing through. Just another lifetime passing through. Anyway, we were all about Sadiq Khan, weren't we? Or at least I was anyway. How he's a despicable individual. How he doesn't answer questions. He wants to build on greenbelt land. Obviously, he's not doing anything about the migrant crisis, where young minors, young girls and teenage girls and women in general are now at threat in London from the migrants. I mean, it's happening all over the country too, which under Starmer's watch. But these migrants are getting ferried in, young men mainly, and all like that. That's a deliberate ploy to create civil unrest, create a divide and rule situation, and ultimately bring in the digital ID, bring in more draconian and more Stalinistic and more communistic and Chinese style social credit system, smart cities, etc., all tied in with the green agenda, all that. And Sadiq Khan and Queer Stalin are both big puppets and muppets in this whole operation. And everything woke is what they stand up for. Sadiq Khan said he stands up with BLM, as I mentioned in part 1 of this. How BLM are a bunch of troublemakers, Bolshevik, Soros agents. He stands with LGBTQ, which is all about confusing young children and perverting young children, and like the migrants that are here to abuse, they come here and abuse children themselves. Not that only migrants abuse children, but they have been doing it. All right. Hey. Dogs are playing. The migrants are here attacking women and young girls, and the LGBTQ sending in their drag queens into schools, telling them they can be whatever sex they like to be, and telling them about inappropriate subject matters which primary school children shouldn't be privy to. So they're attacking the young, and they're attacking the dignity, they're attacking all that's right and all that is good. And this is and Sadiq Khan stands with these people. Supposedly he's a Muslim too. Weirdly enough, a strict Muslim would not tolerate anything the LGBTQ do. And as I was last Saturday, I was in central London. On one of my videos I show the freak show of the transgender rally. I think their main beef is because they're not allowing men pretending to be women use women's toilets anymore, or to participate in women's sports. I think that's their beef. And they said to about 55,000 of them, I've never seen such a spectacle in all my life. Anyway, this is Sadiq Khan's watch. He likes all this shit. I'm sure that the tranny agenda march on Saturday had the full blessings of Sadiq Khan. So we got Sadiq Khan, we got all these things, They're just mashing up the country, mashing up the capital, and people have had enough. And it's not a white extremist or a far right extremist thing. It's not a racist thing. Lots of black people, lots of Indians, lots of legitimate first, second, third generation migrants have come here to this country to make a better life for themselves. They're just as pissed off as the rest of us are, This is not a beef about them. This is not a beef about immigrants, legitimate immigrants that come here to work and to contribute to society, to offer products and services. It's nothing to do with that. This is to do with people, mostly men, coming over on boats, coming over planes, trains, automobiles and boats, not just boats, and being given free accommodation, not working, and we know all about that. So here we are, we've got this situation going on, and these characters, Starmer and Khan, they're doing the job they're supposed to be doing, and they're there to piss us all off. They're there to drive a wedge between all the peasantry of the different demographics, the regular normal people, and then you got Trump coming over here, calling them out, and everyone loves Trump now. Everyone's loving Trump. All the Brits are loving Trump because of this. By design. It's a whole big theatre. Now Trump, we've got Nigel Farage, who is British answer to Trump, and we've got the more sort of rebellious, sort of like bad boy Tommy Robinson, you know. These are the other puppets being played by the same people, by the Tiny Hats, all played by all Tiny Hat players. The Tiny Hats are playing the extreme right, the Tiny Hats are playing the extreme left, the Tiny Hats are playing the moderate right, the Tiny Hats are playing the moderate left, and the Tiny Hats are playing the middle. The Tiny Hats are playing it all. And we know Nigel Farage, we know Tommy Robinson, and we know Trump. They say maybe 90% of the stuff they say is correct. 90% of the stuff they all say I totally agree with. But the rest of what they say, when it comes to Israel and standing up with Israel and saying that all Palestinians are Hamas, it's very clever what they've done, you know. It's very clever what they've done here. I've got my lead tangled around the dog here. Oi, oi. Oh, dear bloody hell. I've got to keep him in my lead because he'll run away otherwise. Heck minutes. Alright, got it. Okay. So we got this right side of the arse. They're calling out Palestinian Hamas. They rope them all in with LGBTQ and BLM types, all the lefty Bolshevik types. And the lefty Bolshevik types. Now I saw on the trolley rally on Saturday, lots of Palestinian flags being flown. It's very well played, this, isn't it? So you've got a legitimate cause going on. Palestinians getting murdered and mass murdered by the Israelis. But if you stand with them, you stand with the Palestinians, you're then classed as an extreme lefty. You're classed as a woke individual. You could be with LGBTQ, BLM and all the rest of them, the communists and the socialists. And then you got the people like Farage, Tommy Robinson, Trump, saying a lot of the right stuff about things. They're saying a lot of wrong stuff too. And they're totally on side with Israel. They believe that the Tiny Hats are the good people. And you can't speak. I mean, of course, Trump is totally pro-Israel in every sense of the word. He's Israel's bitch. Trump is Israel's bitch. So they've done this really cleverly, you know, really clever how they've done this. So if you raise legitimate concerns about what's going on with Palestine, you get roped in with the LGBT lefty lot, the woke brigade, you know, by design. And if you speak out against migrants and vaccines and all that kind of stuff, you get labelled a right-wing extremist, a racist. It's like whichever way you call things out, you're going to be called one thing or the other. Whichever so-called side you take, you're going to get labelled as one thing or the other. Black and white, polarities, dualities, all that kind of stuff, you know. And yeah, it's fucking insane, really. It's fucking insane, but clever, insanely clever. So we've just got this latest show with Trump calling out Khan and Starmer, and everyone loves it. And I totally agree with what Trump's saying about what Khan and Starmer, you know. I'm completely on board with what he's saying. But I know that Trump is actually also one of them. And of course, yeah, you've got the genocide going in Gaza, and that is fucking horrendous. Probably the worst genocide that's going on in the world right now. And there are genocides going in Africa, there's genocides going all over the world. And we too are being genocided with the lethal injection. For those who chose to take it, they're trying to force us to get genocided, you know. And it's been quite an epic last 5 years. Genocide going on all levels. Genociding children into confusing about sexuality. You know, the whole LGBTQ is a genocide. Is a genocide depopulation weapon. I saw 50,000 people, 50,000 gays, lesbians, trannies, and etc. None of them will have children. That's 50,000 people not going to have children. That's a whole generation not being born because of this social engineering that's going on. Anyway, I think I've covered everything I've wanted to say. White privilege part 2 is still on the cards. Hello. The dogs want to play. Nice, Rilo. Alright, they're going. So yeah, I'm also going. Beautiful weather today. Started off a bit chilly today, feeling that autumn's already kicking in. See, it'll soon be Christmas 2033 and it'll soon be Easter 2040, after which the vapour canopy will return. Let's sign off now. And remember, bless and namaste. Love, peace and bless. Namaste. This is just another lifetime we're passing through. Just another lifetime I'm passing through.